Good morning, good morning. I hope you're safe and well because that is the most important thing. Well, we've got several things for you today. First of all, the weather, it's not looking very good here. Rain is our natural habitat at 1100 feet in the High Pennines. Okay, so what we have for you today is, first of all, what's going on in Northern Ireland? Right, there's a couple of things that I want to describe. The first one is actually from one of our lovely email correspondents, Adam Honeyford, based at PIP Chemicals in Newtownards. And he says that there's going to be a change in the way that goods are being moved into Northern Ireland, out of Northern Ireland, not quite sure which because it's trade and it's not really my area. But anyway, what he's saying is, and I will read a little bit of this, 31st March, all change. At the moment, it's pretty simple. You tell the exporter or carrier your details. They complete some paper and goods arrive. Sometime later, you complete an additional declaration to tie it all up. A pain, but well understood. But this process now only works if your goods are not at risk of movement to the EU. If so, you sign up to UK IMS, then it's all the same. But if your goods are at risk, it changes. And you're going to have to do the declaration before the goods move. And as he says, all commercial processors are automatically considered at risk. So that's a pretty big change in terms of paperwork coming in. It's obviously going to affect a lot of people in the chemical industry because of the vast amount of trade between Northern Ireland and GB. And I strongly recommend you read the full information, which I'm just putting below this video now, that Adam's kindly sent through for our newsletter readers. It's definitely one of these under the radar things that has the potential to bite everybody. Now, the second thing about Northern Ireland is that because Northern Ireland is still running under EU rules, any changes to biocides and biocide product type combinations in the EU then applies automatically in Northern Ireland. And if you are dealing with biocides, you may already be on the HSE biocide list, but if not, I strongly recommend you sign up to their newsletter. Anyway, there are certain product and biocide combinations that are no longer going to be supported in Northern Ireland. Do not ask me what the state of play is in GB. Again, I am not an expert in biocides, but I can tell you that this is something that affects Northern Ireland and it doesn't affect mainland GB at the moment, to the best of my knowledge. Brownie's promise. So there's a lot going on for companies in Northern Ireland or people trading with Northern Ireland at the moment. Now, leaving that on one side and going to the EU proper, what we find is that there are a lot of changes. You know that ever since Brexit, there have been all these new SVHCs and new harmonised classifications, and GB hasn't made any SVHC changes, but they have tried to keep up with the harmonised classification changes. Well, it will come as no surprise to you that this process is continuing. First of all, we have 3 new SVHC candidates. Yes, that's things that might go onto the SVHC or the candidate list. And I'm just putting a link below this video just now. And secondly, we also have 2 new harmonised classification proposals. And that's important for everybody in GB as well as the EU, because in the current classification and labelling process for the mandatory classification lists in GB, there's not a public consultation. It's deemed to take place. To the best of my knowledge, it takes place at ECHA. So there's the best place to comment is actually on the ECHA consultation, because by the time it gets to GB consultation, it's a lot further down the process. So I'm just putting the link to these harmonised classification proposals below this video now as well. So yes, everything is continuing to sort of flood out of the EU, and GB does seem sometimes like we're struggling to keep up. But I'm sure that for companies based in the EU, you're struggling to keep up as well, because there are only so many people who actually understand what's going on with these things and have the knowledge and access to the data to be able to comment on them in a sensible way. And frankly, we're all hyper busy at the moment, whether it's like me in consultancy, people in industry, even the competent authorities seem to be really, finding the pace of work difficult, as far as I can tell. Anyway, leaving all that work stuff on one side, we're thinking, where is it? What are we doing for reasons to be cheerful this week? Well, it's Lent, and I thought it would be a really nice thing for Lent to look at the wonders of chemistry. So I'm starting off with 15 amazing chemical reactions, and I shall just put the link below this video now. So I hope you enjoy that as much as I did. And there's some lovely explanations. I think it's really heartening to see that there are people out there who are trying to explain chemistry and physics and how the natural world works to the general public, because we know that there's a lot of chemophobia out there and people get hold of the wrong end of the stick quite regularly. So it's really nice to see people making a huge effort to actually educate and inform and entertain, and I hope you enjoy that. Anyway, whatever you're doing today, thank you so much for watching, whether that's live or on catch up. Have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to chatting to you again next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.